Ooh.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
It's Halloween, witches.
It's Halloween,
It's
witches.
Halloween. Happy Halloween. It's literally Halloween night right now.
It is Halloween night right now.
If you are listening to this podcast when it comes out on Halloween night, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Also, thank you.
Thank
but
you.
what are you doing?
Perfect time to leave a review.
You must not have much else to do, but also we're honored to have you here on this All Hallows Eve.
Yes, of course.
But also go out and party.
Go
I guess it's a Monday.
Yeah,
night.
it's Monday.
You've already done the partying.
Mm-hmm.
Just have a glass of wine then.
Yeah,
or a cocktail.
Yeah.
Okay. We've been forgetting to introduce our cocktail. So today we're drinking a cocktail.
Yeah.
And it's called, get it? The Black Magic Mule.
Black Magic Mule.
Because you know why?
Why?
So it's a Moscow mule, but it's spooky, right?
It's spooky.
But then it's a Black Magic Mule because we're going to be talking about ghost stories and also warding you yourself and your house and how to protect yourself and different spells you can do. Mm-hmm. So, Black Magic Mule.
Black Magic Mule.
So maybe if you drink this, it'll protect you from the Black Magic Mule.
100%.
Okay. This is another vodka drink. We're gonna muddle some blackberries, put some lime juices in there, mint leaves, ginger beer.
Okay.
Vodka.
Okay.
So let's mix it. So it's telling me, do you want to juice the lemons?
Sure.
It's telling us to do a lime. Half a lime each, so just do both. I'm gonna muddle the blueberries. It's so funny because it's saying to put exactly 3 blackberries in there.
Okay.
So
3 is a magic number.
That's true. Oh my gosh, look at us. We're like kitchen witches right now.
Hey.
Let's put our intention in there.
Okay.
A nice safe
Halloween
time.
night.
Yes. I'm gonna start with ice in my in the little thingy, the shaker. Put a little more because we're doing a double dose for both of us. Okay. Then I'm gonna put exactly 6 blackberries.
3 each.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I'm gonna muddle them with my muddler, which I have not used until now. So now I'm going to muddle them. Oh, and the lime juice and the mint. Okay, I'm gonna add mint. We have some fresh mint up in this bitch. So nice handful of mint.
Here, I have some juice de lime. Oh, wait.
Do you want to pour it in? It's saying for me to do this in a glass, but I'm just gonna do it and then put it in the glass and then mix up the cocktail, I guess. I just have mint bits. Ooh, that sounded good. Okay, I'm gonna muddle them together. So right now I am smashing blackberries, lime juice, and mint leaves. Oh, it says 2 mint leaves per person. No, that's too little. You cannot taste the mint. And I must taste the mint. Okay, I'm smashing them. Wow. It's like I'm doing magic, like a potion. I love this. Okay, let's grab our glasses. Oh, I don't have to shake this one. This one's a stir drink.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to add our ice. So we have some cool skull ice. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to add some teeth for you. Ooh. Oh, thank you. Vampire teeth. A must in any glass. How do I evenly distribute this? And also oh shit. well. I'm just gonna use my hands. Yeah.
Use your hands. Yeah.
It's a witchy moment. That's about even, you think?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, great. We don't need this. Tasty. Okay. Now we are going to add to our glass. Says 1.5 ounce of vodka. Let's just do 1 ounce.
Okay.
So that's gonna be our short side of our of the jigger. 1 ounce of vodka. And then I think we will just fill the rest with ginger beer, and we have hibiscus ginger beer, which is going to add flavor and also color, which I love that. Okay. It says stir, but
it's mixed.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Cheers.
And this is our freaking Black Magic Mule. Cheers. I like this. I think this is my favorite drink that we've done. In this whole series
for the Halloween cocktail.
I feel like the other one, our Halloween drinks. Oh, hi, Cora.
Hi, Mamie.
Hi, Cora. Cora's saying hello. We're still at Devin's place.
Yep.
And Devin has some very cute dogs.
Hi.
2 big cute dogs and one cat. Where's she is just living her best life on the tripod case right now.
Oh, okay. She wants to go home with Chris.
Speaking of tripods, we are filming this, and it's going to be on YouTube. So go search Wine and Divination on YouTube. And come say hi to us. We're waving right now. Hello. Also, okay, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Okay, girl, you were in my dress. Hello.
Cora.
My goodness.
Okay, how about you just get out of the whole way?
She just went in my dress straight to my business. Okay. What was I about to say?
We're on YouTube.
Yes.
Wine and Divination. Happy Halloween.
Yes, our final installment of our Halloween series. And did we already say it? This is Wine and Divination? I'm one of your hosts.
That's Christy.
And that's Devin.
Yeah.
So now that we've got that out of the way,
Yeah.
we're talking about ghost stories and how to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Magically. So, as we've learned in our last few episodes, that now is the time, starting in August until like mid-November, the veil is thin. There are ghosts out there.
Yeah, they're walking around.
And, we wanted to talk about some ghost stories that we've found. Her leg is caught. Oh, no. Oh, no. She's trying to take us down.
I know.
So where was I? We want to talk about some ghost stories. I know, Devin, you have like experiences.
I would not call them that.
It's something.
I've had something.
It's something. Yeah. So but I haven't. So I have a bunch of Reddit accounts.
Okay.
Of ghosts, and also a YouTube compilation of people who've caught spooky stuff.
Oh, I love those.
So we can like factor cap it, It's like, is this legit? Do I believe? Do I not? And then also we have a bunch of ways in which you can protect yourself, ward your house, ward your name, ward you, how to protect yourself, how to like get rid of bad energies.
Okay, well, we needed that for the stories I'm about to tell you.
Yeah, so okay, let's dive in. I think I'm so excited to hear, or not, I'm not excited, but I want to know what your experiences are.
Okay, so you've been to my New Jersey home.
I have.
So it was an old, I mean, it still exists, but my parents sold it, rip our family home, recently, but during the pandemic, because shit got scary and they wanted to retire, and so they sold the house. But it was like an old Victorian 1860s house that
It's a beautiful house.
Yeah, that was just all wood, old, creaky, 2 stories, but with an attic, so 3, and a basement, so 4.
Wait a bit. Did we? Oh yeah, the pool. There was like a pool table.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
So in the attic is where all these experiences.
Oh my god,
focus.
me and Michael Thomas stayed in the and I was
know.
so scared. Okay, you did tell me about some stuff.
Yeah.
And I was so guys, let me tell you. I was so scared to stay. There was 2 beds. One was like the proper bed on one side, by a window, I think. And then the other bed was on the other side of the attic on the floor. And like I think Michael was like, you can have the bed and I'll take the bed on the floor. And then I was like, Michael, I'm scared. Can we sleep in the same bed because I don't want to go over there. So then we just like shared like a bed.
Aww.
It was, I don't know, I was scared, but I don't think either of us experienced anything.
Okay, so both me and my brother have lived in the attic room at different parts of our lives. So my brother when he was in high school, and then when he left, I lived in it when I was in high school.
I mean, it's an attic. It's
Yeah,
cool.
so we always spent time in there, and it's not like every night we were being tormented or whatever, but there was this little storage space in the attic that everyone always had dreams about or a feeling about, or okay, so for me in this attic, the first time I heard about something going amok in there was when I stayed in there with a previous boyfriend, an ex-boyfriend, and two different ex-boyfriends.
Oh.
I know, but visiting the family home, you know how it goes. I'm kind of old now, so I've had more than one boyfriend.
Yeah.
But the first one said that he had a dream that something came and laid on top of him, and he couldn't move and he couldn't speak.
Like sleep paralysis?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And he could see me, but he couldn't say my name. He couldn't say anything. And
That
he
sounds
couldn't
like
breathe.
sleep paralysis for sure.
And then I had a different ex-boyfriend have the same dream in the same.
Was it like okay, I want to know. So I have experienced sleep paralysis before in 2 different occasions and 2 different like places. Have you experienced sleep paralysis?
I had one lucid dream once that I couldn't wake up from.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Like sleep paralysis adjacent.
Yeah.
That's pretty scary. So like apparently it's like a whole thing with people who have experienced sleep paralysis that a common like figure in sleep paralysis is like a hooded figure.
Why?
I don't know. That's really weird. Or it's like a shadow figure, or like there's always, or even like for shadow figures, this is like another offshoot. For shadow figures, there's like a man in a hat.
Okay.
It's like all is
Well,
a thing. But
this-
did they have hooded figures in them?
It was the figure of a man.
okay.
Just like an outline of a man. And so
Oh,
then
shit.
I had a dream. So they had told me this, and stories had been flying around the family, and like something's weird with the attic. So I had spent a number of years away, and I came back to stay in the attic, and I had a dream where it was a man standing near the storage area in the attic, and I couldn't move, and I couldn't.
So that was sleep paralysis.
That was like I couldn't.
Oh my god.
And then my mom had a dream that someone dragged her up the stairs of the attic into the storage room, and she was hanging on to the edge of the door, like screaming, and then he pulled her in and the door slammed shut and she woke up.
That's really scary.
Yeah. And then I had another dream that I was staying in the attic and my dad went on a murder spree and like killed everyone in the family and then burned the house down while I was still in the attic.
Wow.
It was like a hatchet wielding dream too.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
scary. Yeah.
Wow.
So something with the attic.
No, for real. That's crazy. I
Yeah.
mean, the fact that it's like or it could be like, because like, do you know where it started, like in your family, like when, like where it started that there was something with that storage place?
I feel like it started with the first ex-boyfriend.
Okay,
With
because I was
having
like,
that dream.
okay, because I mean, I feel like,
And then everyone thought it was like an energy like protecting me,
oh,
interesting, from the men that stayed in there.
yeah,
Yeah.
interesting. No, because I wonder, like, because either like I'm thinking like either A, your house is haunted and that there is something in that little like storage thing, or B, it's like an egregore where it's like, you know, if everyone puts all this energy and thought about that one particular thing, the energy
and then
could,
it manifests into
yeah,
that thing.
exactly. So then it like maybe it could be that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that is really weird.
I had this really strange dream once in the house. It wasn't in the attic, but my parents had this really beautiful bedroom with like an exposed brick wall, and like when I was a kid, I used to like, because my room was in the attic, sometimes I would just like take a nap wherever. So sometimes I would like take a nap in their bed or like whatever. And so on this one afternoon, and I was like a teenager when this happened, the light was like particularly golden and beautiful, like coming in through. And so I took like a little like cat nap in their bed on top of the covers, like not under the covers, and just laying down. And it was in the middle of the afternoon, and the bedroom was like filled with light. And I had this dream. They used to have this floor-length mirror that was affixed to the wall. And I had this dream that the room looked exactly as it had when I went to sleep. Like it looked as if I was like awake and sitting in the room. But there was a man in the room, and his back was to me, and he was writing on the mirror. And he was writing like furiously, like all of this stuff. And I'm like looking at him as if there's a real man in the room, because that's the whole feeling of the dream was not like it was a dream. It was like it was real. And this overpowering, like booming voice said, "If you believe, you wake up," and it screamed the word "now." And I sat straight up in bed, and my alarm was going off.
Chill.
Yeah, my alarm was going off at that second.
Ew, I don't like
and then
that.
I looked toward, because the room looked exactly the same as in my dream.
Yeah.
And I looked toward the mirror, and the only thing that was different was there was no man.
But there wasn't any like
Writing.
drawings.
No.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Are you kidding
that's
me?
so
If there were,
scary. No, yeah, I would like be like I would
Yeah.
just I would leave.
Yeah. So
That's
definitely
so
like a
scary.
little bit of weirdness. I had the lucid.
There's something going on in the house then.
The lucid dream I had was, it was like I was really interested in lucid dreaming and how to control your dreams, and I still very much am, but it's just like I've never been in that dream state except for one time. And so I was having this dream where the like I walked into a room, and then I wanted to walk out of the room, but there was no door. And in my dream, I literally is like, that's impossible. This is a dream. And that's how I realized I was dreaming. So then I was like, this is a lucid dream. Like, I can do whatever I want in this dream. So then I did the thing that everyone does, and I flew. So
how did that feel?
it was as if I was drugged in the dream, where my consciousness was being pulled and pulled and pulled away from me. Like it wanted me to be. And I've read this, and it's very common. And they say if you're in a lucid dream and you want to stay present in the dream, you should rub your hands together really fast. You should spin
In the
really fast.
dream?
Yeah.
Oh.
Spin in circles really fast to like reorient yourself, or to bring like ground yourself in that reality. Because I got so tired in the dream that I couldn't keep flying. So I fell from the sky in front of a child, a boy. And he had a deck of cards in front of him.
Oh my god.
A tarot deck. And he said, "Do you want to know your future?" And I said, "Yes."
Who's this boy?
It was just a boy.
Just a random boy.
Yeah. He said, "Do you want to know your future?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "You're all going to burn." And I got really scared. So I ran from him. And that's when I was like, wake up, wake up, wake up.
And you couldn't wake up.
I woke up. It was the middle of summer. I woke up. I look out the window. It's snowing.
What?
It was snowing. I wake up. I look
What?
out the window. It's snowing. Then I see like police lights coming through the window, like flashing. So I fly out the window down to the police lights in front of my house. And it's still snowing, and I'm just like, what's going on? And I'm like, this is still a dream. And it happened like 2 or 3 times where I woke up but I wasn't awake, and I woke up and I wasn't awake. It was crazy.
That's so scary.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Some
I would do.
spookiness.
Yeah, what the heck? And
Yeah.
that was all like in that house.
Yeah.
Have you experienced anything like that outside of the house?
No.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe there's something energetically going on.
Maybe.
With
We
the
were so
house.
energetically connected to that house, all of us. I think growing up, so much happened to us in it. And my parents bought it for really cheap, and they spent their entire lives putting their energy fixing it, making it beautiful, finally selling it to build their own house down south in the heat. But yeah, I mean, it was a big deal when they sold it, and I never really got to say goodbye. And I think,
Maybe that's a good thing.
I don't know. I miss that place. I still know exactly what it feels like. Like, I feel like if I were to go back in 30 years, it would feel exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
But,
Oh, that just reminds me of like American Horror Story, like the first one, the house.
mm.
The house is like literally trying to like spawn the son of Satan.
Except there was no like leather like
Gimp man,
gimp suits. Yeah,
yeah, or like many other ghosts.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Should I jump into some Reddit ghost stories? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So there's a thread. Actually, you know what? Here's a good one. Someone this is a post from r/paranormal. Mm-hmm. This is where like all of them are from. This person says it's Joseph_566. This is 4 days ago. Oh, so this is like,
okay.
These are all fairly recent. I chose like recent ones. Mm-hmm. The title of this is called "I Live in a Haunted House."
Live?
Yeah. Or okay. No, I lived in a haunted house.
Okay.
This was right around when I was entering 8th grade. I remember all the events vividly, like it happened yesterday. Mm-hmm. This house we had was amazing. It was a huge 1-story house. The backyard was massive, bordering a riverbed. There was a huge metal shed in the back that looked like it used to work on semi-trucks. It was a 4-bedroom house. Although my brother's room, which was technically a den, converted to a room, it had long corridors to get to other parts of the house. The kitchen was long like a hall lined with counters. To get to the 3 bedrooms on the one side of the house, we had to pass the living room and then walk down the long hallway that was L-shaped. My mother's room was at the end of the long hallway, which is where most of the worst events happened. Mm. I only know my other siblings/parents' encounters because they told me as an adult, where before they didn't want to scare me, because I also had my own experiences. So I guess he didn't know that they had experienced other things until he was an adult, because they didn't want to spook him out. Mm-hmm. It started with small things like uneasy feelings, weird smells like baby powder, misplaced objects, knocking on doors early in the mornings. But the first major incident was when my uncle lived with us. We were sitting in the living room and we had one of those old school big screen TVs. You know, the ones that basically took up the whole corner of the room. There was my uncle's phone on the top charging. Keep in mind, this is flat surface as my mom had decorations on top of the TV.
Wait, that's crazy. Wait, okay, sorry, just a little interjection.
Yeah.
Like, in all of my old stories and, like, memories from childhood, like, there was no phones charging. Like, no one had a phone.
Yeah.
You know, we just had a house phone. So, like...
I mean, I don't know how old this person is.
I know. That's, like, an interesting little thing in ghost stories. It's like, oh, that's such a modern...
The phone was charging.
Yeah.
On top of the TV. Mm-hmm. Okay, it says, keep in mind this is flat surface as my mom had decorations on top of the TV. We were watching TV when suddenly we all watched the phone light up the corner of the room super bright with just the screen. Before my uncle could move to check it, it flew off the TV. I don't mean like it slid, it legit flew. We all got startled.
Sounds like a poltergeist.
Seriously, my mom came running from the kitchen and my uncle, which was about in his 30s at the time, explains exactly what happened. In shock, he said no one touched it. It lit up bright, then freaking fell off the TV. We all kind of brushed it off, but it was nonetheless the first event of many. And so I feel like with this whole, I just want to say with the, you know, anything on the internet you want to take with like a grain of salt. You know, like this could just be a story that someone made up. It could be their real experiences. I like to believe that people aren't lying on the internet, but you know, a lot of people lie. So it's Reddit, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, but it's spooky day, so
yeah, so we're just gonna enjoy.
Yeah.
Okay. The next event kind of jumps from harmless to major.
Ooh.
My brother was in the kitchen washing his plate from breakfast. Suddenly, he explains feeling a dreadful feeling, but he said he ignored it. As he was standing there, he said it felt like a gush of wind passed behind him. He even said he felt a tug on his shirt. Thinking it was one of our many siblings, he spun around to see who was there, but there was no one. He was alone. Kind of freaked out, he told my mom what happened, and since she's the most spiritual out of all of us, she's a big Christian. Stay with me because we're kind of jumping around in the timelines based on harmless encounters to the worst ones. I'm getting ready for school one morning, and I began to feel the anxiety and dreadful feeling. I began to scan my room as I tied my shoes on the chair facing the doorway. I caught a glimpse of an all-black hand wrap around the doorframe of my room.
Ew, fuck no.
I jumped back, and I see an all-black face peer from the corner of my doorframe. Its face was pasty black.
Ew.
Its eyes
How
were...
is it pasty and black at the same time? Maybe he means like matte black.
Yeah, maybe. Its eyes were all black, and it was wearing an old feather hat. I jumped up and screamed, and it quickly disappeared from the doorway. My mom came running in, and I explained with tears in my eyes about what I had seen. She didn't play it off and started to pray with me.
Oh, that's even scarier.
I know, right?
Let's defeat it with prayer.
This is my last experience in the house, although my other siblings continued to have things happen. It was my bedtime, and I shared a room with my older brother. I didn't like sleeping alone after seeing whatever that thing was, watching me tie my shoes. My brother had a late bedtime because he was in high school. I would go to bed first alone. I remember being scared but falling asleep. I awoke to a silent, dark room. I couldn't move. I looked around the room from my top bunk bed. We had these huge glass mirrors for closet doors. No. In the reflection, I watched a creature crawl out from under the bed and hop up onto the bottom bunk where my brother was sleeping. It was staring at me, and it had piercing red eyes.
No.
The only way I could explain it as an evil monkey.
Ew. Wait, I just listened to an episode of the most recent last podcast on the left, and they talked about the monkey men. Have you heard of them?
No.
So basically, there's this guy called Terry Lovelace. He was a very respected lawyer, and he, from childhood, saw these creatures in his room that looked like monkeys.
Oh my God, that's probably what this is.
But they were really aliens who
What?
abducted him later in life.
Oh,
and he says
shit.
he thinks they were wearing monkey masks to like make
Right.
him feel less scared. Isn't that ew?
Yeah. I hate that.
Monkey mask.
Ew, I hate that. Maybe
Little
this
Grey's
maybe this
aliens.
was similar.
Ew.
Okay. Back to the story. So he's saying that he thought that it looked like an evil monkey with red eyes.
Okay, gross.
I began to scream and cry because I couldn't move. My brother began to wake up. This thing hops off my brother's bed and quickly goes under the bed. My brother jumps up and turns on the lights. I explained what happened as I could move and talk now. He went to get my mom. I remember being terrified that he left me alone in the room to get my mom. She came in and we prayed, and I went to bed. The next events are all from my siblings. My sister often had vivid dreams of a body hanging from the window in the restroom, even to the point she had a dream of my oldest brother hanging there. There was something about that wall in the restroom and the window. Everyone felt uneasy about it, even before my sister ever mentioned the dreams about it. I remember being woken up by my brother. He explained that he was in the restroom. As he sat there, he said he became fixated on the wall and window. He began to feel panic and fear. He said the lights flickered and he caught a glimpse of a noose hanging from the window frame. He freaked out and quickly finished, I guess, his poop. He just pooped fast and ran out of the restroom. Now I have never seen fear in any of my brother's eyes. This was different. This night was different. He asked me to stay awake with him that night. I agreed, and we talked all night till the sun came up and there was light in the room. We both fell asleep once enough light was in the room from outside. This is from the perspective of my older sister. My sister would often hear children playing in the hallway from her room or inside her room. The sounds changed from just laughing and small voices to the children calling her name.
Nuh-uh.
She would explain when she took a shower, she would hear them outside the door calling. When she would be in her room, she would hear them calling from down the hall. She was always freaked out, and still to this day, she says she hated that house.
What did we learn from 2 episodes ago?
Literally, don't respond.
Don't respond to
Leave
things
them on
calling
red.
your names. Yeah.
Leave them on red.
Yeah, ghost them.
Seriously, ghost the ghost. Okay, this is from the perspective of my older brother. He was asleep when suddenly he was awoken by a loud noise. He explained he tried to move but couldn't. The bed began to shake violently. The walls were cracking and shaking. He thought there was an earthquake, yet he couldn't move. As he lay there helpless, he said it was almost like a train was running through the room. Everything was shaking. There were sounds of a train running over tracks. He said he closed his eyes and started to pray. When he opened them, the room was back to normal. No cracks and no shaking or noise. This same brother would have the same experience multiple times, except every time was different. Sometimes he would hear tradespeople talking like a busy train station, and other times he would hear children screaming and crying. To this day, he has no explanation. Ew, I wonder if their house was like over some like a train station or something that became like something else. Yeah. That's so creepy. Okay, I'm just gonna skip to this is one of the scariest things to happen.
Okay.
My uncle was living with us at the time. I remember walking in the door with my parents. He immediately stops us and says, "You guys have demons in this house."
Oh my God.
He just literally was like,
Uncle knows what's up.
And just imagine, you're like, la da da, like my uncle's visiting. He's just like, "You have demons in this house." There was something seriously wrong. I remember the despair on my parents' face, knowing exactly what he meant. He explains coming home to an empty house, no one was home. He walked into the doorway and looked down the hall. He explains seeing two small children run from the corner of the L-shaped hall and into my sister's room, the one that always heard the children calling her and playing in the hallway. He was surprised because his logical explanation was that my mom left some of us to do something. He walked into my sister's room and asked what we were doing home alone. Mm-hmm. He didn't find no one in the room. He said he checked everywhere and no children. Just then he heard laughing in the hallway. When he looked out of the hallway, he saw the same small children run from the bathroom into my room. He was now confused because he said no one passed him to go out of my sister's room. He said he was upset and called out our names and to come out of hiding and stop playing. He searched the whole house and found no one. He was home alone. I remember sitting there scared shitless because the last room they entered was mine. This is my mother's story. She explained that my oldest brother, who worked nights, would sneak into her room in the early mornings and sit on the bed to let him know he was home, and they would get up, drink coffee, and just talk. She explained being woken up by the sound of her door opening. She said she had a feeling it was not my brother. Instead of my brother coming straight to the bed, she heard her cupboards open and someone rummaging through them. Then they closed and she heard footsteps heading towards her bed. Then she felt someone sit on the bed. She turned around to say hi to my brother, but no one was there. She explained that there was an impression on the bed as if someone was sitting there. My mother, being the God-fearing woman, said she laughed and began to pray. That's when she said the impression disappeared and she heard footsteps leave her room. This is the same brother who had something pull on his shirt in the kitchen. It's the same thing. He was washing his dish, except we were all in the kitchen cleaning up for breakfast. Suddenly, he said he felt the gush of wind again and something pulled him harder, and he turned around to see and remembers getting up off the floor with everyone around him. From my perspective, he blacked out. He collapsed on the floor with no warning. We had the paramedics come, but he was fine. No one could explain what happened. He says that this house was something evil. We always knew something was wrong, but we finally had the answers. We were all in the living room watching TV one morning when I remember my mom opening the front door. She moved her attention to some random guy standing in the front yard. He said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. I used to live here when I was a kid." My mom said, "Oh, you did?" He said, "Yeah, like 20 years ago." My mom said, "Can I ask you some questions?" He said, "What do you want to know?" "But before you ask, yes, the house is haunted or cursed," he said with a scared look. My mom, shocked, asked him to explain. He began to explain all the experiences we had been having. My mom, shocked, says, "What about the knocking or the baby powder?" He says, "Oh, that was my mom. She had a heart attack in the back restroom. Don't worry, she would knock on our doors in the morning to let us know she was still around, since she did that when she was alive. She would wear a lot of baby powder for some reason, like it would fluff off her when she sat down," which explained the knocking early in the mornings and the powder smell throughout the house. He said you have to be careful for the Native American chief. We all said, "What?" He pulled out his phone and pulls up a picture. It's a picture of a developed photo. It shows people on the patio at a party. They're standing in front of a bar, they're standing in front of the bar we have in the backyard, and behind them is a huge figure with a chief hat on his head, feathers and all. Except his face is black, and so are his eyes, explaining what I saw with the figure that was watching me tie my shoes. The man explained that there are several ghosts and demons in the house. He even explained that they had a theory that someone hung themselves in the restroom. Also explains the dreams my sister would have and my brother seeing the rope. We thanked him and he rode his bike away. We never saw that guy ever again, and he was riding a bike. He couldn't have lived too far, but we never saw him again. A few years after we moved out of this house, I was happy as could be because all the experiences ended once we moved. I remember being in high school and my friend was talking about how he just moved across the street. He explained the house and it was the same one. I warned him and he laughed and said nothing had happened yet. A few weeks later, he came up to me. He said, "Okay, I believe you. I was in the fridge getting milk that morning. No one was home, just me, and someone came super close to my ear. I could feel their breath on my neck and said in a low, deep voice, 'What are you doing here?'" Throughout the school year, he would tell me all the things that happened, which in turn were way worse than what we experienced. I believe my mom would protect us with her praying. Oh my gosh.
Ew.
That's so creepy. The fact that multiple people, and I'm kind of looking at the comments and people are just like, "Oh, thanks so much for like taking the time to list all this out." Someone's like, "Please post the address." Yeah. Where is this? Let's see. Where is this? It's in South Whittier, California.
Ew.
Wow. Where is this?
Downey, LA? No.
Oh, it's outside. It's outside of. It's kind of like Anaheim-ish.
Okay.
Okay.
Ew.
Oh, that's so creepy. Okay. Should I do another one from Reddit?
How much time do we have?
We're about like 40 minutes, almost 40 minutes in.
Should we talk about warding?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's jump into that. Okay. So a lot of spooky things happening now. Mm-hmm. How can we protect ourselves? I have the answers.
Yay.
So first, I want to talk about locking mirrors.
Okay.
I think this is important because, yeah.
Everyone has a mirror.
Yes, they're everywhere. So why? Okay, have you heard about this? Mm-mm. Okay, so why should you lock your mirrors? So according to there's this podcast TikTok that I follow, and this is how I first learned about it. So it's the Savannah Underground podcast, which I don't actually listen to their podcast, but I follow their TikTok. But I followed them because I used to live in Savannah, which is like one of the most haunted places like in the U.S. And like luckily I never experienced anything, but they have like tons of experiences. So this TikTok comes up, and according to the Savannah Underground podcast TikTok, all mirrors are haunted. Period. Mirrors are believed to be a gateway or a portal to the spirit realm, and something about being able to like see into our realms means that like the biggest, strongest spirit near the mirror is gonna like grab hold of it and like keep all the other spirits at bay, and like because they're all fighting for a glance into this world, I guess. Redditors say that what makes a mirror a portal is that it's a window into a space that doesn't physically exist.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's it makes it like kind of liminal in that way. However, some people think that not all mirrors are portals, but all mirrors can have the potential to be a portal.
Okay.
So it's like, you know, with like black mirrors and like scrying, like you can have the intent to make it a portal if you wish. But I feel like not all mirrors are inherently portals, but they can very easily become one. Okay. I feel. So according to also in Chinese culture, windows are thought to be like in feng shui, and then also in like ancient lore, like they're said to be really like powerful.
Okay.
And like you don't want to have them like they should never be like facing your bed or like facing your door. And in ancient Chinese lore, mirrors are believed not to be reflections, but another world entirely, with these like demons who pretend to be our reflections and are
Ew.
specifically trained to imitate us and learn our ways so that they can break into our world.
Ew.
There's actually written accounts of an attack that was stopped by the Yellow Emperor from these like demon mirror creatures, and he ended up imprisoning them in some like trap and locked them back in the mirror. But that's so like it's so crazy that they actually reported that as a historical event.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, why would they make that up? You know, why would they make that up? So, this person says that there's like a Reddit post from the paranormal Reddit that from this user Steve Mage God. And he says, okay, convinced mirrors are portals. He says, so I've heard about the theory that mirrors are portals for a few years now, and I never really bought into them until last night. In my room, I have 2 giant mirrors facing my bed, one on the left and one on the right side at different angles. I went to bed early around 9 p.m. because my stomach was upset, woke up randomly around 11:59 p.m. exactly because I felt like I was being watched. I look over and I notice this quote unquote shadow-like figure watching me in my mirror. Then when it notices I am watching, it sidesteps inside the mirror to the left like it's trying not to be seen. I look around my room and nothing is giving off a reflection like that. It sidesteps inside the mirror realm like it's trying not to be seen. I get up and I'm staring down the mirror and this thing, and it's still there. Usually this shit disappears immediately upon me noticing. However, the weird part is I immediately fall asleep shortly after witnessing this entity. I don't remember it leaving/disappearing. Like I stared him down and somehow I fell back asleep when I usually don't go to bed until 1:30 a.m. That's so creepy. Okay, so mirrors are potential portals, and so there's a way in which you can lock them.
How?
And protect yourself so that shit doesn't. Because I don't know, I don't like what like at night when I'm like brushing my teeth and like washing my face. It's like my fear is to like look up and see something.
Oh, that's some horror movie shit.
Seriously, that's my fear. So this is what I think about all the time, guys. So lock your mirrors, guys. So you're gonna take either olive oil, just plain old olive oil, moon water from the full moon with protective energies, or Florida water. And so olive oil is regular. Moon water you can make by having, each full moon has kind of like different properties, but you can put water under the full moon for like a few hours and save it. And you can also like imbue it at that time with certain energy. So you can be like, this is for protection, and like imbue it with that energy. Or Florida water, which used to be like a cologne, but you can find it. You can get it on Amazon or like any metaphysical shop. Florida water. Look up some protection runes or protection sigils, or create your own protection sigil. Usually a personalized protection sigil is the best, as it's not widely used and it's personal to you and therefore more powerful. So go to our episode about sigil making and you can learn how to make your own protection sigil.
Yes.
And what you're going to do is, once you have something that means protection, could be a rune or your own making, you're going to dip your finger in this protective liquid of your choosing and draw the protection sigil or rune on the mirror. And while you're doing that, imagine putting a lock on the mirror, or imagine like bars or a door or a gate being closed on the mirror, like in your imagination, and make sure that you enclose the mirror in your mind's eye. Once you have seen the mirror in your mind completely closing, you have locked your mirror, and you want to let the sigil or rune dry overnight. Don't wipe it away until it's completely dry.
Okay.
And you're going to either want to redo this. Some people will do it monthly. Some people will do it like seasonally or like annually. I think it just depends on you and your routines. Yeah, so that is That's a lot of shit.
Yeah, that's a lot of shit.
Let's see. Do we want to go over like warding? Like what's a ward and how to ward? Okay. So I feel like the first time I heard about like warding was on TikTok, and so I like really wondered about it, and I like saved a bunch of TikToks about warding. But basically, a magic ward is a type of defensive magic. It's also known as protective magic. Wards create a protective barrier and acts as a magical or spiritual security net around you or your space. Not only do wards keep things out, but they also keep things in. Wards can be an imaginative barrier created around you or your home that is imbued with your intention, or it can involve protection sigils or symbols. Amulets or talismans can be linked to your ward to make them easier to maintain. So, before beginning any warding rituals or spells, make sure to cleanse your space, as wards cannot only keep unwanted energies out, but also keep them in. So cleansing is really important before you start warding. One way to create a ward for your home is to walk the perimeter of your home and direct your energy and intention by visualizing a barrier forming along the walls or a fence around your home. You can also chant or say the intended purpose and function of your ward. Remember that wards need to be maintained. This can be done annually or seasonally. You can light a candle and channel energy into the space while visualizing the wards glowing with energy, or you can repeat your warding ritual. Usually, the simpler the ward, the easier to maintain. Also, remember to dismiss your wards if you're leaving a rented space or selling your house, etc. You can sit in the center of your space and imagine all of the energies coming back to you and grounding them down into the earth, leaving nothing behind. You can imagine the imaginary walls being torn down until nothing's left, or even cleanse them away using cleansing methods, which is kind of cool. I never thought of like taking things down after you put them up, but I feel like with this definition and explanation of what warding is, it feels very much like in the book you lent me, like, what is it called? You Are Magic?
You Are Psychic.
Yeah, You Are Psychic. Like, they talk about, like, grounding and, like, grounding your space.
Yeah.
And I seriously feel like that is a version of warding.
Yeah.
And, like, how that book also talks about, like, how some people keep their, like, energy very close to them, and some people, like, spread out all over the place. I feel like that's totally, like, in a line with this, with, like, warding. And so, I have a few ways to ward from TikTok. So, Warding 101 from the Crystal Patch on TikTok. It says that you can take protection spell jars or bags with intention to protect the area. You can place protection crystals around your area or home. You can draw protection sigils, such as a pentacle, on your window, doors, and mirrors. And that's like a 5-pointed star face up. And apparently for like drawing the pentacles, depending on the way that you do it, can have different meanings. So make sure to look that up before you go drawing pentacles on things, because you might be inviting something in. It's saying that you can dip your finger in moon water, Florida water, or she says lemon juice.
Okay.
So that'll also work for locking your mirrors. You can use a protection oil and rub it onto the things you're protecting. You can place black salt along your windows, in the corners of your house and doors. And black salt is a salt mixed with ash. You can enchant objects and make them guardians. And you can put brooms above and beside your door to ward. I have a spell that's called Shut the Eyes of the Trespassers window spell.
Okay.
So this is from Wade Vetiver on TikTok. It says, on a piece of paper, write, shut the eyes of the trespassers on this piece of paper. Then in a triangle, connect the letters C, which is going to be the top of the triangle, O, which is the left base of the triangle, and then T on the right base of the triangle, and like connect them. And then draw an eye in the center of the triangle. And COT is Claudre Oculus Triangusore in Latin, which I think just means like shut the eyes of the trespassers. You're going to want to hide this paper above the window, and then at the base of the window facing out, so that it's like visible from the outside, put a thorn or porcupine needle or a regular needle.
Okay.
In the TikTok, he has it like kind of like pinned to the corner of his drape.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of interesting.
Okay.
Another way to kind of like monthly cleanse your bed is to change your sheets on the full moon. And this is from heather.maio on TikTok. Change your sheets on the full moon. Set the intention to clear any stagnant, stale, and negative energy your bed may be holding. As a bonus, you can place selenite or smoky quartz on or under your bed to help clear the energy further.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a bunch of things that that can protect yourself. And I'll just rattle them off quickly.
Okay.
So, in addition to warding your home, you can also ward your name.
Okay.
From Coco the Witch, and this is COKO_the Witch on TikTok. Write out all your names on a piece of paper. These can be nicknames, real names, usernames, etc. Put them into a dish, plate, or bowl. Add a piece of obsidian or a piece of onyx on top. Take a candle, and this can be like a tea light candle. Carve a protection rune or protection sigil into it. Place the candle on top of the paper with your names on it, and add the following to the bowl: rose stem with thorns or just thorns, juniper berries for protection and warding, cloves to stop slander and gossip on your name, rosemary for protection, and once the candle is burnt out, take everything except the onyx and put it into a spell bag. So that's like the paper and all the like herbs, the dried herbs. Keep the onyx in your altar and then hide the bag somewhere. That kind of acts as a distraction for those wishing to do harm on your name. So there's a lot of like questions about like how do you know if you've been targeted by baneful magic or like been hexed. One way is that after you've done your wards or created like warding amulets or talismans, if you have been a target of baneful magic or hexed, those will be damaged or affected in some way that you could tell. There's this person, Loki Laddusaw, LOKILADDUSAW on TikTok, where they just talk about how they have like this mirror that they use all the time, and there's like weird smudges even though like no one touches it. And then also there was like a ward that was like broken or like cracked, and like that's how you know that something needs to be taken care of and that somebody's trying to get at you. There's a way to know how you've been hexed, and this is by Coco the Witch, same COKO_the Witch on TikTok. You can take charged water, aka moon water, pour it into a bowl, allow it to settle, grab 2 matches and light them both, put one in either hand and gently drop them into the bowl. Allow them to float for a second, and if the matches aren't touching and they're not in the same area, you're in the clear. But if they're touching, that means someone may have tried and it didn't work. But if they're crossed, you are hexed and you gotta do something about it. So that's kind of a good way to know if someone has been coming at you.
Yeah.
And then I have two things and then a personal like protection anecdote. So I have a protection salt bowl from Jack's Witchy Ways on TikTok, and this is JAQS Witchy Ways on TikTok. You can fill a bowl with the following. So you're going to have a base of salt, and then add garlic salt to keep away unwanted energies and entities, lavender to protect energy, rosemary for protection and purification, rose for protection and control, nettle to protect from any intentional attacks, basil to protect home and hearth, rue to protect home and finances, angelica for protection, dried lemon peels for protection, and use 3 pieces of cinnamon stick to make an algaes rune, which is like a protection rune, and place where it's going to stay, and use a tea light on top of the contents in the bowl and light the candle. And then I have a lemon cleanse from JAJA__Jess on TikTok. So you're gonna like cross cut 1 lemon in, and then stuff it with sea salt, And then you're just going to leave that out for 5 to 7 days to remove any bad or evil energies. Lemons and sea salt absorb evil. You can seal it with wax when you're done with it so that whatever it absorbed won't leak out, then throw it away.
Ew.
Yeah. Because you don't want it coming back, right? And then one way that I personally protect myself, and that it was like a gift from my mom, is with I have a bracelet that I always wear. One has a Tibetan Z bead, and so it's a bead in which patterns are like heated on agate stone or crystal, I guess, and it has the power to repel but also store. They can block negative energies or absorb positive energies. Usually it's part of a necklace or bracelet or an amulet. I have it here combined with different colors of beads that have that are different crystals too. So they're like kind of cover all my bases. And then also they are inscribed with basically like, I think they're like protection runes, but like Tibetan protection script, I guess is what it is. So I wear this all the time. Good. It's definitely good when you go to like unfamiliar, weird places. Yeah, so that's what I have.
Cool. I think that was a lot.
Yeah. I was like, we're covering all the bases. Like your home, all of it.
I have Cora to protect me.
That's true. Actually, I feel animals, like, they are, like, sensitive to, like, spirits. So I feel like it's a good sign. Because they know. What do we think of this cocktail?
I like it.
It's definitely, I stand by what I said at the beginning of the episode. It's definitely my favorite of all the 3 that we've tried.
Yeah.
It's the Black Magic Mule.
Yeah.
I like this a lot.
Cool. What time are we at?
We are basically at an hour.
Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, well.
Happy Halloween.
Happy
witches.
Halloween. Happy Halloween. I feel like this was so fun.
Yeah.
I can't wait for more holidays so we can like do more stuff.
Well, back to your regularly scheduled programming next week with a Witchy and Whining about it.
No, I think we'll have a guest.
We'll have a guest episode next week. Okay, cool.
I believe so. Yeah, we've spent three whole episodes. I hope you guys haven't gotten bored with us where it's just us 2 chatting.
Yeah.
But
it's spooky season and we want to do something spooky today.
Yeah, and I have, I got my flashing red horns.
I just have my regular red cat ears.
But they are very bedazzled, so it's nice. Come see us on YouTube.
Yeah.
On our YouTube channel, look us up, or go to wineanddivination.com to check out the link, and visit wine.divination on Instagram to see a picture of our cool cocktails, our Black Magic Mules that we've created. And hope you guys have a really great Halloween. Stay safe.
Protect yourself.
Make one of these Black Magic Mules, and also do cleanse your space. Ward your home. Ward your name. Protect yourself.
We all could use some extra protection.
Seriously. Oh my God, somebody's driving by. Rate, comment, subscribe.
Yes.
And like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, and write a review.
Yep.
And do all of it.
Yep.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Bye. Bye. Okay.